Okay, so PMs. PMs, my name is Ben Keyte. I'm just going to do the second half of this video, talking about my SAFCOMMS website. I've got down to the pre-armed molecules, just talked about the VDMU, the VDME, which is a Visual Data Matrix Universal, Visual Data Matrix Earth. This process is now dealing with the pre-armed molecules and the PDJMs, pre-armed defense and judgment molecules. Okay, this can be used with people and all. Again, we use it in technology and in the science and the appliance of science through the technology in the system that operates. But it also operates with people who protect people who are vulnerable, and push out the viral situation, the viral problems, the bad, the dangerous aspects of society, or defend people who are in a dangerous situation against them. So what we have is PMs or pre-armed molecules, and PDJMs, pre-armed defense and judgment molecules, serve as defense and judgment against malignant forces in communications by removing throughout SAF and all the processes that come after that, via even finer matrices and webs, the most virulent and persistent threats to security. Right, so system splits next. Once you have your system tailored to your specific requirements, you will require various system splits. System splits are designed to automatically register the nature of incoming or outgoing media, such as a telephone or television program on your system. Once the nature of the media has been classed, the process then refines this media into access levels to your system, such as level 1 authorized personnel only, level 2 friends and family, level 3 business links, level 4 unconnected business, level 5 cold calling, and level 6 malevolent issues such as virus or malware. Within each split, there can be subsplits enabling you to reclassify their terms of business, should that be necessary, or even ensuring that should certain people gain access from a different level but do not do so for inappropriate reasons, they are not permitted access at any level. So say that again. Should certain people gain access from a different level, but do so for inappropriate reasons, they're not permitted access. So some people can be barred outright for, trying to undermine the system, which is something that's quite prevalent in the whole process of putting the whole physical reality of this. When people start to undermine or go over your head in terms of what you're able to give or share, they assume they've got too much of what you have or anything like that, or they're trying to undermine you. This whole process, the whole process starting with the seal process and the RAL process and all this sort of thing, it's involved in replenishing and restoring your liquid property so that you can ultimately share it and go out into the community and be a benevolent force for other people, share it with people you want to through a privilege system rather than having stuff actually taken out of you. That's wrong. Right. SAFhaven. The SAFhaven we provide describes a system which interlinks our subscribers to each other and to Largo or LarWeb. SAFhaven gives each member full SAF-enabled protection. SAF-enabled ultimately the Power system, the Lightweb system, and everything else that comes from it, while at the same time setting up a matrix that should remove consumer restraints that either remove or enhance unfairly the individual setup of each client. The reason for this is as follows. Cheaper equipment often comes at a price. You do not own your system entirely and are often at the mercy of big corporations. In the same way, more expensive systems, we all know who they are, offer equipment that often come with a hard sell or is much too trendy in the markets. This means that sometimes people get into certain products without really looking at the small print, or it just seems to be the done thing and is therefore acceptable. The purpose of SAFhaven is not only to offer these people a chance to put right and unfair bias in the markets, but to put all our clients on an even level, meaning that the whole Largo ethos is about ensuring that individuality and originality succeed, and that the practices we choose from Largo have the same integrity from start to finish. To take this further, we hope to provide a better level of security to all our clients, irrespective of which side they come from. This means that in order to develop oneself as one of our Largo clients with individual concepts, we should ensure that full protection of the individual's liquid property will be enabled for each client. And we're all doing this while removing consumer restraints. So the consumer restraints which keep down the little guy and privilege the people who buy all the trendy products, the expensive products, the ones that everyone's thinking, well, hey, this is a great product because expensive and it's going to give me all this added security and they're going to be able to clone other people's ideas. The whole process is about removing these consumer restraints so that the people who use these products do not get a clout because of it, but we all get an even level of security with some, actually an improved level of security for everyone, irrespective of what level of the market, what area of the market you're buying from, provided, without surveillance, provided you're not working for illegal causes or, crimes that are against the Holy Spirit or, going to do damage to infrastructure and undermine the system that's in place or go over its head or do anything that's, abhorrently wrong to the system or to the nature, the spiritual nature, the Holy Spirit and all the good things about it, in the system. So I then sort of lay down the basis of a sort of client system. So we'd have C1 or C11 or C21 or all these things. These are programs, web-based facilities such as search engines, email, spam protection, web top services, and any web facility that requires putting databases in order and protecting their users from malevolent issues and protecting intellectual property rights. C2 would be high street shops and small businesses, mainly protect owners from competitive data theft and their online intellectual property rights. C3 to 5, tailored personal protection for self-employed people and others seeking to protect their intellectual property. C6, personal computer systems prone to data leaks. C7, C7, C8, and C9, so other bigger things, and finally C10, public sector infrastructure. Then we have in-house programs, which I haven't gone into much detail about, but the in-house programs comes under INOR, which is something perhaps someone else connected to me will hopefully be setting up. I've set up the initial programs, written the initiatives for it, but obviously he or she has to see that through and make it into something, preferential for their good taste in what goes up to make the general ambience and to be able to facilitate the wishes and people and the desires to make the situation good, possibly, making it into a facility where that person will be able to make money from equipping this situation in the Moz's program very quickly and easily. So then we have individual item conversions. So this is all to do with the conversion of a system. So black 1, conversion of individual PC and surrounding system to prevent illegal hacks. Black 2, conversion of individual item and system to prevent pluralistic hacks. Black 3, monolith conversion of items. So you have a monolith, which is a focal point, which becomes your CADSA in the process. You start to interface through that, and you're able to set up your Christian AI through it. Your wishes go through it, or whatever it is. If it's your LCD television, or if it's like something you're listening to, or a fireplace, or whatever your monolith is, it goes through that system. White 6, black 1, 2, and 3 conversions with skim threats removed. Black 4, cold width laboratory removal of fragmentation division loss through hacks. Black 5, public private privacy exposure and removal of loss through visual hack. Black 6, public private privacy exposure and removal of loss through audio hack. White 15, code word policy and removal of visual dimension threats with audio hacks reduced. White 21 and White 6 incorporated with all inclusive limitations on theft of intellectual arc web property. That's very difficult to word, that one. And then we've got a quarantine system, as all antivirus programs do and everything else. The quarantine program doesn't really need any explanation. It's just a quarantine system ultimately to decide whether you drain it out or you recycle, like with the MTWI, you recycle some of the process, or you just destroy it completely. Just RSIE, Rogue, Sith, Inverse, Infinitum, and extermination, I think that was. So we use some of those sort of programs when things really have become redundant and useless and have no more purpose. Anyway, then we come to fault find repair suite. Fault finding repair semantic suite enabled through CADA script program. And then balanced funnel web. Balanced funnel web will mainframe your ideas levels operational at foreseen future levels to enable you to establish and gain confidence, knowing the areas which are critical already. This confidence is twofold. On the one hand, your potential when reaching the higher levels should be known to you, and on the other hand, the network for balanced funnel web connections will provide you with administrative and logistical support from others on the network. For providing the service, we at SAFCOMMS require nothing more than a full report on all field you'll gain from your work now, taken from the higher levels, and your permission to use it. In order to be proactive in optimizing your business at current levels, this is done by harvesting your talents at the top in order to structure the company division of ownership and management and workers' welfare around you at base level to tie in with your business and others who use the balanced funnel network. Please do, and there's a video here about the balanced funnel web if you want to watch that. Explains more detail. And Communications Enhancement Integration Program. This is the beginnings of the POWI system that I started to create, but this is where it started. So as with the individual item conversion programs and in conjunction with the in-all programs, we propose to offer CEIP, CEIP, Communications Enhancement Integration Program. This may enhance signal on mobile hardware and media systems and integrate SAF with existing communication systems to enhance or develop the now outdated networks which run on satellite and digital technology only. We also propose to improve the overall integrity of existing media and communication systems and have already started doing so, to do so. And how, I will add to that, and how have I done that? I've done that a hell of a lot now. I mean, the whole escalation process in quality of media is absolutely going through the roof. It's starting to happen, it's starting to pay off, but I had to draw it back to myself. I had to get it into a commodity. I've gone out to the community, made it happen in the community. I had to come back to myself, make it a commodity, so I personally can start to have the clout from my own systems, so I am able to operate with people who remunerate me or credit me for the right reasons, for the fact that I've set up this and made it for the common good, and ultimately I should get something in the end and still be the owner of it, which is how I outline the whole process in the video I put on YouTube called Doing Business the POWI Way, PAWI way. Okay, then we move on to Artfilled Map. The AFM service allows users to draw up a field map around their art parameters and to network through the existing infrastructure of the given field. This is basically schematics and diagrams and all this sort of thing, which we're hoping in the interface world, you program something, you design something, you make something happen, and you're able to see a schematic of it come together in the interface as you interface with the technology you're using. As you program it, you see it coming together through the arcs that it's designed by. Okay, right, then we move on to CLAW, Charity Life Arc Web is a system by which individual practices from ENA may be maintained and perpetuated within and without. And then, unfortunately, when you delete pages on this website, it leaves the title in the drop-down menu, the menu on the left-hand side, which is annoying. Normally when you delete a page, you don't want the title to remain there, but anyway, it does for some reason. Anyway, I haven't found a way around that yet. But anyway, I probably should have asked the forum or something. To begin with, these were my parameters for working. If people looked at them and shared them, then fair enough. But it's better I put it all on video and explain around it, because there's quite a lot here to explain and understand. And I think a lot of people look at this and they go, it's like Greek to me, I'm not going to understand this, let's get on and get some descriptions and explanations about it. So that's why I'm making this video. So finally, getting close to the end now, so we're drawing towards the end of what SAFCOMMS is and moving into the POWI stage. So with Lightweb, what is dangerous in the society are demagogues who, fearing their own personal security in top government circles, at times are very anti-Tor, but it's true, it's good and bad. It needs to be there for the purpose, and it needs certain interaction with the light web, but mainly it's policed by the light web, for illegal activity. And people who operate with the light web with Tor, need to split the system, need to divide it, because the light web will ultimately extract the product from the illegal activity that goes on Tor. So it's up to you, how you operate. You've got the secure interface of the light web if you're law abiding, and you've got the secure interface of Tor, potentially criminal or potentially good, thinking it's more secure interface. It depends on your level, your frequency. Some people prefer using a dark atmosphere, but the light web doesn't necessarily provide you with streaming lies that come into your face to tell you sort of stuff like the news does. And it's not that sort of light, this false light, but it is, it's a light thing. It's a good thing. It's for people who are good, like-minded, and aspire to do the right thing. So let me explain from the top. What is dangerous in this society are demagogues who, fearing their own personal security in top government circles, created the dark web, which, although operating as a highly secure interface with the most important state secrets, has been enabled to actively encourage all of us who use it, should we desire, in order to smother and hide government intelligence from powers that could do them harm, should they get hold of it. It has naturally become a hotbed for vice and endangers each and every one of us with anything illicit that you can possibly think of, including enabling a terrorist network that is virtually untraceable. Well, yeah, up to the point of writing, perhaps it was. I desire to remove this luxury from criminals, but what I desire more is a free web where people who are open to the truth can innovate, discuss, motivate each other, and research like-minded people without any possible threat of surveillance except from more enlightened beings than ourselves. That is what Ben Tellier has been drawing towards since I endeavoured to start upon my liquid property management schemes back in 2011. The answer to the dark web and freedom from an ever less free internet of things for truly open to the truth Gnostics like ourselves. The light web, la web, or law. You can contribute now at umotsis.ucos.net. That's if you're into encoding interface, because you can still possibly use that for encoding through the search on the website. And it may sound ridiculous, but if you really apply yourself and work at it, you achieve phenomena that way. It's quite on the face of things. It doesn't get to the very depth of it. It doesn't get into the machinery, into the hardware. Ultimately, my ambition is to start building things and making mechanics happen, all that sort of thing in my lifetime, so we can enhance and create like SAFCOMMS products that you're able to buy hardware. But I'm getting there. So cryptocurrencies. Most of you will be aware of the various cryptocurrencies that are available on the dark web. Through interfacing, contributing, and working for the light web, you'll be awarded universal credits from our own cryptocurrency on the light web. This currency is currently being set up by SAFCOMMS Limited and Powie and all the light web and all the process beyond. Obviously, SAFCOMMS Limited is the dreamer up of the idea, obviously, but ultimately it's a UMOSRA's product. It's accreditation for its practices, the seniorization of students. It's not necessarily the student process, which really is sort of the SAFCOMMS thing as well as UMOSRA's. But Limited is a contributions currency for which rewards good labours and charitable work to enable people who are not enabled always recognised for their contributions to have funds on the universal platform to continue their work. Please read more about it here on umosras.ucos.net and the rest of it on umosras functionality. Right. So in all I've got here, I think, but I've copied that onto umosras because that actually is a practice. It needs to be talked about in umosras. So we'll move on, and that is basically it. There are a couple of coding things I put there. People are interested in seeing what my code looks like, but I think actually, I don't know if you can get that logged out now. You've got to log in to get that anyway. So I don't know if you can get that if you log in on Facebook or anything, because you can access my websites through Facebook if you want to, become a subscriber on Umotsis, for example. It might be useful to see some of the stuff I may have hidden. I'm trying to actually now unveil all of that and let it. People can now copy and paste that sort of stuff into whatever they want to use on their programming systems. But it's not quite all open. I haven't quite unlocked all of that because I had a lot to get through. It's quite a long-winded process removing it. But that is basically it. please feel free to talk to me about this. Give me a call if you know me, or come and have a chat. And if you want to discuss some of these products and see if it applies to you, or see if you've got some ideas on how we can improve that, or other tangents we can go in, because it doesn't all have to go into the direction of the POWI network. It can be used in other directions as well, of course, and we want that. So yeah, any ideas, any shared ideas, please comment on this video, or comment on the guest book on either Umosrus or the donatelle.ucos.com website, which this one is, or have a look at my grassroots.ucos.org network, where the academy system is set up, and the teacher-student process, and the track, the the step program is outlined, where you go to blank slate and you come through the whole system to fill yourself up with your own personal knowledge and your own personal experience, and then you can share it with other people and take it out to wider dimensions. So yeah, please comment, like, share the video, and anything you want to add to it, please contact me on the guest book, or via email if you know me, or telephone. Please have a chat. I'd like to talk to some of you about this stuff. I know some people have some great ideas out there, and it'd be good to share them. Okay, all the best. God bless.